Welcome back. Today I'm going to give you my fight predictions for Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. So we're only a few weeks away and I'm really looking forward to this fight. Two giants, both on a mission. So I have Anthony Joshua, who needs to beat Ngannou if he wants to go on to become a world champion again, and also potentially fight the winner of Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Losing would be a major setback and potentially shatter his dreams of becoming a world champion again. Francis Ngannou is fighting in just his second professional boxing match. And again, he's fighting one of the best heavyweights in the world. It's unheard of. The guy is seriously something special. The guy's making history. You could argue that he's got nothing to lose, but he's also got everything to gain. So there's a lot at stake for both guys. They recently sat down together for a face-off. Let's see if there's anything to take away from it. Let's take a look.
Fight was offered to you, was it a straight yes? You asked for the fight.
I asked for this fight. I saw an opportunity there. I made it with aim for this fight. I was calling for that fight.
Straight away, Ngannou makes it clear that it was him who wanted the fight, that he initiated it, and he's almost smiling to himself, laughing, because he knows that AJ didn't really want this fight.
And I always loved boxing growing up. Didn't have any opportunity. MMA came around and the opportunity, make my way up and then maybe at some point crossover.
It's crazy the fact that Ngannou only went into MMA because there was an opportunity there, and essentially there wasn't that opportunity in boxing for him. But boxing was always his real goal. It just shows how determined and driven he is, because anything he sets his mind to, he can achieve.
You're a boxer now.
Yeah, it's my second fight, my second pro fight.
Because at the age of 37, to go into a different sport, and I know it's not like going from golf to football, but still, it's still a different sport. To be able to compete at elite level is still pretty special.
I feel like you're getting a lot of credit now from people saying you know how to box.
People will not believe in what they haven't seen. Like, I'm not going to explain. You don't explain those stuff. Get excited to prove them wrong.
I love the way Ngannou talks. He's so self-assured. He doesn't feel the need to try to explain himself or prove himself. He knows he just needs to get in the ring and let his fists do the talking.
Obviously, you put Tyson Fury down. If you were to put AJ down with the same shot, you don't think AJ gets up?
Yeah, I have a doubt about that.
It's interesting that Ngannou thinks that AJ is not as tough or can't handle a shot as well as Tyson Fury, when actually Tyson Fury has been put down more in his career than what AJ has. And yes, I know AJ's actually being stopped, but I think if he is underestimating AJ's toughness, it could be a huge mistake, because I think that AJ's in a good place right now and he's really out to prove a point.
Tyson showed to be very resilient. I saw him come back from a knockdown that you wouldn't believe that somebody would come down.
You see, in boxing, styles make fights, and Anthony Joshua is a completely different animal to Tyson Fury.
I think he's probably one of the most resistant person out there, and that's not a disrespect to AJ. I don't believe that AJ would take what Tyson.
But he brings different challenges, so if Ngannou thinks that he's in for an easier night's work, that would be a huge mistake. I'm not quite sure if Ngannou is underestimating AJ. It's just when he's talking about Tyson Fury, he's almost putting him on a pedestal as if he's way tougher challenge than what AJ is.
People underestimate me.
Do you expect to knock out Ngannou?
I don't know, but it's going to be a good fight.
I didn't like that long pause when AJ was asked, does he expect to knock Francis Ngannou out? Because in the past, it would have been yes in a split second, no hesitation. But is this because he thinks Ngannou has got a granite chin? Because we've seen him take an elbow from Tyson Fury and he didn't budge.
And this is what Ronaldo saw in that last round. An elbow came in on.
Or is it just a lack of confidence? I'm just not sure.
It's not even the strength that I carry, it's the brain. I'll process what I need to process, I'll do what I need to do. Yeah, I just do my best in it. We'll see what happens, no?
Even there, he says, I'll just do my best, we'll see what happens. And he looks over at Francis Ngannou for almost reassurance to see if he agrees. I mean, they're not good signs. He's not showing the confidence that I want to see.
I asked AJ if he expects to knock you out. I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you expect to knock out AJ?
Absolutely.
That's the response you want to hear. When Ngannou's asked, does he expect to knock AJ out? Absolutely, no hesitation. Whereas you expect that from AJ, the more experienced boxer, not the guy who's only had 2 professional boxing matches.
Tell AJ how this fight plays out.
I would take everything that I have in my stomach to come after AJ. Needed to knock him out. That's how I'm going to come after him.
Love the way Francis Ngannou can talk about maximum violence, going to war, going in the trenches, doing what he's got to do to win, but he can do it in such a polite, gentle way, and even with a smile on his face.
Tell Ngannou how this fight plays out.
I can counterpunch, I can move forward, I can move back. I'll do whatever it takes. I will be victorious. Everything designed for me to come and be victorious.
I do like the way AJ ends it. He lets Francis Ngannou know that he's capable of doing it all, whether it's front foot, back foot, he's got the skills to get the job done. And I do think that AJ is quietly confident.
May the best man win.
Well done, guys.
May the best win.
I do think AJ's mindset's changed. He's a lot more laid back. And I don't know if it's just because he's quietly confident, like I said. He doesn't feel the need to give the tough man act like he previously does to try to get a mental edge over his opponent. But maybe he's just shown that respect because he knows that he's got a killer in front of him, because he knows that Francis Ngannou has got a lot more tools in the locker than just boxing. It's always interesting the build-up to fights, because us fans will watch the press conference, the face-off, and we'll try to work out and try to summarise who's got the upper hand or who's got the mental edge. But the simple fact is, until they meet in the ring, we don't know. I'm not saying that they play no part, but as a fighter myself and being in these situations, no two situations are the same. It's a lottery. But if I did have to judge in this face-off, I would say that Ngannou looked the more confident fighter. And you can't understand why Ngannou's so confident, because in his first ever pro boxing match, he come close to beating a world champion. So he knows that he's only going to get better. Ngannou needs to realise that AJ is a completely different beast to Tyson Fury, and he's a lot more powerful and a lot more explosive. AJ's power and speed will be to command a lot more respect from Ngannou than what Tyson Fury could do. So you'll not be to just walk towards AJ like he did with Tyson Fury. Ngannou's biggest advantage is going to be his strength and his durability, because he's used to kicks, knees and elbows. Because I certainly don't think that he's going to be able to outbox AJ, so he's going to have to use the advantages that he's got. Going back to Ngannou's confidence, he's had an extremely tough life. He grew up in poverty. At the age of 10, he was working in a sand quarry, working like a grown man. So you can understand why he's so confident, because boxing is like a walk in the park compared to the childhood he had. And he's also got the motivation to do what's never been done before, being a UFC world champion and a boxing world champion. Looking at AJ's last performance against Otto Wallen, he does look to be in great form, and I think the partnership with Ben Davison has been great. But at the same time, it may have given people a false sense of security, because AJ knew Otto Wallen very well, because they fought in the amateurs and he was also a sparring partner. So maybe AJ just had his number, and it was a perfect fight to make him look good. I believe Francis Ngannou is going to be more dangerous this time round, because he would have took huge confidence from the fight against Tyson Fury, and he now knows that he can do the 10 rounds comfortably. So he'll be looking to try to push the pace even harder this time, because he'll know he needs to push the pace to make it uncomfortable for AJ, because he knows he can't outbox AJ, so he needs to make it into a dogfight. But he also thinks that AJ can't take a punch, so he might try to draw AJ in hoping that AJ will get overly confident, letting his hands go and try to counter him, a bit like what he done against Tyson Fury. This could be what loses AJ the fight, if he's getting success and he's getting greedy and he hangs in the pocket too long and gets caught. I don't think AJ will be making silly mistakes. I think he'll be boxing off a busy, fast jab. Everything will be off the jab, keeping it long, using his feet, keeping it at a safe distance at all times. AJ wants to become a world champion again, so it'd be silly to take unnecessary risks. The most important thing is to get the win, because I know the fans want to see an exciting fight and see AJ try to knock Ngannou out, but the stakes are just too high, and he'll do what he needs to do to navigate his way to a win. Ben Davison will have the perfect game plan. He'll have an A plan, a B plan and a C plan, because he's a great strategic coach. I know AJ's got to then follow it, but I believe he can do it. He would have studied Ngannou's fight against Tyson Fury, and he would have found all of Ngannou's weaknesses in areas that AJ can exploit. Ben Davison and AJ have now had longer to work together, more time to gel, so their partnership will be even stronger. So I think AJ would have improved even further. further. Ben Davison's also great with the psychology side of things, so I think AJ will be mentally a lot stronger. He also would have seen the things that Tyson Fury had success with against Ngannou, so he'll be to also add them to the game plan. Despite Ngannou having great success against Tyson Fury, I do think it was mainly down to Tyson Fury being underprepared and underestimating Ngannou. There's now data for Ngannou, so this time round I think it's going to be different. My final prediction: I think AJ boxes smart and beats Ngannou on points. I do also think that AJ can stop him, and if he does, I think it'll be late. I think it'll be off accumulation of punches, because I think in the second half of the fight, I think the volume of punches will start to take effect. In the first 5 rounds of the fight, I think AJ will box smart behind a jab, collecting data, stabbing to the body to slow Ngannou down. Then in the second half, I think he'll up the pace, looking to add the pressure and start to let his hands go. I do see more of a points win for AJ, but either way, I see a win. I just can't wait for this fight. 2 powerhouses coming together. It's going to be fireworks. Let me know your fight predictions. Please like and subscribe and go and watch this video next.